sure all of you will have, sorry, I'm sure all of you will have load shedding at some point in the near future. If you're not,
we
you're
are going
very
to
lucky.
phase 6 now. Eh?
I know.
Sure.
So yes, I am on my little dongle. So our load shedding started at 4 o'clock. So if I disappear for some reason, then just, you know what is happening. I'm not sure if we should go according to the agenda. Oh, the screen is still loading. Well, we can do the formalities. Cool. Just a welcome to absolutely everybody here. Thank you for making the time and the effort to be at the meeting. We have a few apologies. I think I said it before we started recording. So we have formal apologies from Charlie, Marcus, and Fatima. And the others are absent without apologies. Hopefully they will join us a bit later. We don't have minutes of the previous meeting.
With load shedding.
I think we've lost Anna-Marie.
She's gone.
Yes, she did warn us. She warned us.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so she's back.
Is she?
Yeah, see her.
She's back.
Yeah, yes.
There we go. I'm back.
You back.
Welcome.
Yeah, it is raining and we are in load shedding. So I work on the dongle and then it's raining. So it is not optimal circumstances, but I am here. So I'm back.
Welcome.
Thank you. So Wandile, you shared the news with the planning team while I reconnected or not?
No, I didn't. We were waiting for you.
Okay.
We were still processing whether it's load shedding or.
it was. Okay, so what Wandile and them did was they spoke with the line managers and the people holding the purse strings. We did send them not really a budget, but the items that they would be responsible for as the province. And they looked at their budget and they have decided that they cannot afford 2 events so close to each other, basically days apart. I'm sure, Wandile, it was not just the money, it was also the amount of work having 2 events so close to each other. You probably don't have enough staff to do good for both events. So therefore, it was decided that it will be a virtual launch on Friday the 17th, as the original plan was. And then we will see how many can attend the event on the 21st. That will then be in Matsoma. Is that the place?
Yes, it's Matamo Public Library, but the date to the 25th on a Friday.
Oh, okay.
Also change, but for now we'll be planning for the 25th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is okay. I'll just make a note of that for Charlie as well. Yeah, so that is where we are in terms of the event. So the national launch, it will be virtual. and we will do it as we've done it the past 2 years, I think it was. Of course. Let's just get that back. So the venue, well, the platform has now been decided and the launch date we have confirmed. So now that that has been confirmed, the roll-on effect of a bunch of other things can happen. So we can now start doing the invites. We can ask for sponsorships and just making notes. See, now I have to talk and I have to write. So those things will happen. I will see that I wrote in a label from the office that we can do, at least save the dates or something, maybe start a social media campaign for that as well. Any comments, questions, queries on the event, the platform, the date, etc.?
Anna Marie,
Yes.
Charlie spoke to me about inquiring about the speaker. You know, I mentioned Musa Zulu.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's quite happy to come on board. I sent him an email this afternoon. And I said, once I confirm everything and once we get the program organized, then I will get back to him. But he's very happy to come on as a speaker or whatever it is we might need of him. I was thinking more as a speaker side of things.
Okay.
So yeah, he's happy to join the program. And I did say to him, once we've finalized all the logistics regarding the program, especially the timing and all of that, and then we can let him know. And then he wants to know, who must he send the bill to for his little gig?
Yeah, it depends on how much his bill comes to.
Well, that's precisely the point. And I said, what we need to know first is how long do we need him for, you know, in terms of minutes. So once we've established that, I can get back to him and see what his billing will be.
Absolutely.
Because if it's
So-
too much, we can honestly look elsewhere.
Absolutely. I have I have drafted a tentative program. So while we are on that item, so guests will sign in on Zoom. It's just housekeeping. We always do the anthem. Then Nazim will do opening remarks and the purpose. And then we don't have to go by this, but we basically have all this time for speakers and entertainment items or whatever we want to do. Again, I don't think we want a program that is too long, not like the face-to-face programs that we have an entire morning. I think it's different when it is online. People don't want to sit in front of a screen for such a long time. So we can decide if we have good speakers, we can give them more than 10 minutes. It will all depend on how we're going to draft that. And I think that is one of the things that Charlie wants us to discuss today. Shani, yes,
I
okay.
think
So
with Musa, sorry, Anne-Marie, I think with Musa, 10 minutes might be a little bit too short. You know, maybe about 15 minutes or so, because he is quite dynamic in what he talks about. And he's got a long-standing history with the library, and he's an author, and he's a poet, and he's disabled, and he's an artist. So, you know, if we confirm, once we get his price, we can send him the rationale and then he can work around that. But I just think he probably need a little bit more than 10 minutes.
absolutely. So let's do that.
Yeah.
To be confirmed. So that I just want to keep the times correct. So that should be 10. So it does not mean that, you know, we only need to stick to these times. There's 15, so that would give Because I think we originally planned for 2 hours. So as you can see on the program, we do have about 25 minutes to play with.
Yes. Yes, I think we can work around the times.
I want to say you guys need to tell me. Okay, dokie. Donnie, you also mentioned you sent through a name of a possible speaker.
Yeah, I sent it to Charlie, but I can't remember. I have to go and look.
Okay.
I don't know if Charlie has contacted the person.
Probably not. I think maybe just send it through again. So, do you know this person? Do you think they'll need more than 10 minutes?
Yeah. If I look at the credentials of the person, I think 10 minutes will be too short.
Also 15 minutes?
Yeah, more or less. Okay,
And
I'll
your
quickly
speak-
have a look and see if I can find it again, and then I'll let you know.
Anna-Marie, it's Musa Zulu, not Kumalo.
Oh, who's Musa Kumalo?
I have no idea. Do you know?
I don't know. It's probably a member or somebody that I
think
just.
so. I think it's a member. That name rings a bell.
What was this? Sorry, now lost track. What was this?
Okay,
5 minutes.
Anna-Marie,
Yeah.
this is Mimi Kalinda,
Kalinda. Can you spell that?
Kalinda.
Okay.
She's a storyteller, communicator, and businesswoman.
So Donnie, can you perhaps also contact her and get a quote from her for 15 minutes?
Okay, I'll do that.
That we just can see that we have enough money in the budget for all the paid speakers. And okay, sorry. I was busy fixing this. So now we need one more speaker and we need some entertainment.
Yeah.
So entertainment does not necessarily only mean poets and maybe somebody singing. It can also be maybe somebody that is having a testimonial of how the library helped them. So it's just somebody that is not a formal speaker.
Anna-Marie, I'm going to give the other members a chance as well. You know, I have 2 people in mind, but I think if we are stuck for somebody, then I can come back and offer somebody. But I think right now, maybe the other members, if they'd like to offer, it would be great as well.
Absolutely.
Anna-Marie, sorry, I
Yes.
can also find out. You probably have to know by yesterday, ne? The names or something. Because I
yes,
can
but
also.
we can give chance until next week. So
Okay, great. So
yeah.
I also have a speaker in mind, and it's also an author, or does it have to be something different?
I know it can be anybody. We need dynamic people that would motivate and talk to our theme. So
Yeah,
it doesn't matter who it
speaker
is,
and
anybody
motivator.
that would speak to that. Yeah. So
Alright.
if you can also then contact your speaker. So this is who's suggestion. If you're not comfortable sharing the name now, if you want to speak with them first, that's
Yes,
all
I'd
good,
like
no
that.
problem. And if they're going to charge, then we just need a quote ahead of time that we can just again look at the budget, that we can see if there's enough money.
Okay.
Perfect. So we have 3 possibilities of speakers, which is absolutely great. And then everybody's going to think, or do you already know of people in your communities, anywhere that we can use as our in-between items to break up the monotony of just speaking? You also want chance until next week to think it over.
I wonder, like something like, do you think something like marimba can work online? Or is it gonna
Yes,
be?
so what we will do is we will pre-record all the speakers and the entertainment items. So if the marimba band can be pre-recorded some way, that would be great. Of course, they
Yes.
can do it live as well if they want on the day, but the way things are going now is we need that backup more than
Yes.
ever. We need that
Yes,
backup
yes,
video.
definitely. I think
Absolutely.
we do have a wonderful band that did our reading, what do they call it? Reading festival. It's a school and they didn't charge us. So I'm not sure if they were charged, but I'll find out if they'll do it for free.
We would prefer it being free, yes.
Yes, so I will ask, but they were more than willing to be part of our program. So I don't think they'll mind. We'll probably ask them to pre-record, which will be probably better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That is one option. So it is.
Okay.
So it is. And oopsie bank to be confirmed. And that was. Okay, so just 2 more. And again, we have until 12 if we're going to have a 2-hour program. So if the band is playing for 7 minutes and not just 5, I mean, it's not a train smash. It's people can sign off when they need to sign off. We don't need to worry about that. We just don't want, say we book a speaker or an entertainment for 5 minutes or 10 or 15 minutes, and they take double their time. Then we're running into trouble. But a few minutes, we are okay with that. Any other suggestions that people can come up with at the top of their heads? You're okay with thinking it over until next week?
Anna Maria, I've got 2 people, but I think let's wait for next week. If no
Sure.
other suggestions come through, then I will share with you who I have in mind.
Awesome.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so we right. So I think so far we have a fairly decent program. We can expand it if we see we might, somebody I forgot, we might have to add Kepi as the National Librarian. We'll see what we're going to do about that. So then it will just move on a little bit. Right, everybody happy with this draft program so far?
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes.
I will circulate to that as well and also add what the homework is. Linda, welcome. Oh,
Hi, good afternoon, guys.
hi,
I'm
Linda.
here and I'm listening and I'm following.
perfect.
Hi, Linda.
Okay, so I think, Linda, the biggest thing that you've missed is that the launch will now be virtual on the 17th. Mpumalanga Provincial Library Services did look at the financial and human resources, and fairly enough, they have said that they will not be able to host 2 events so close to each other. So we are reverting back to a virtual event, and who knows what is happening next year. Maybe then we will have a launch, in-person launch in Mpumalanga.
Okay,
Anything?
thank you. That's good news. Thanks, Anne-Marie, for updating me.
Anything else about? Okay, so then the next item before we take it off the launch event. So I haven't looked at the spreadsheet lately, but I also haven't received any emails with any suggestions of people that need to be invited to the event. So I think that will also be part of the homework that we can start sending out save the dates and invitations. Even though it is online, so it will be easier for people to attend since they don't have to travel. I think we need to still get it as quickly as possible into people's diaries. Linda? Go ahead, Linda.
Yes, sorry. I wanted to find out, I don't see on the program that we've included there.
So I have the minister there. So remember, the minister always speak last. There we go. So
Sorry, I didn't see that. Sorry. Sorry.
So
Yeah.
whether it's the minister or I don't know, Pauline
Yes.
or Rose or whoever, we have to give them a spot on the program. But yeah, now that we have, or maybe next week, if we have a more final draft, if we have a better draft of the program, then we will send the invite to the minister's office. And as far as I know, he was at one of our online launches. I think the last one Nikki hosted. The minister actually did attend. So that is good. Donnie,
You
you wanted to
must
say
just
something?
change that back to TSAC,
Yeah,
unless they've changed back.
no, they're still sporty.
Okay.
Back to the agenda. Right, so I will drop an email to everybody, and I will also just say that it's critical now that we get names and contact details of people that we need to invite. So municipalities, universities, if you have higher up people, the decision makers that, you know, we need to include in this, I think it's just good if we invite them. Even if they said no, then at least, you know, they know there is somebody like Liasa. So, and it's online, so we're not limited. Well, we are sort of limited. I think we can take on the extended Zoom. Donnie, we need to sort that out before end of next month as well. We need to, we can have 500 delegates on the extended Zoom license that we will buy for the launch. So that is our limit. If we have 500 people at the launch, I think we were extremely successful. So anybody that you can think of that would benefit, that that was in programs or that is kind to libraries, your friends of the libraries, send those names through. If you want us to send an email, maybe we will just do a save the date to the members, I think, and then you can forward that to people. We will do online registration, like for all our events, that we just have an idea of the number of people that we need to cater for, that we don't, if only 80 people register, that we don't go and spend R1,000 on an extended Zoom license that we could have saved, but we definitely will have more than 80 people, I'm sure. Anything?
Sorry, Anne-Marie, isn't there an in-between license?
Isn't there
So-
what?
In-between license, say for instance, 200 or 250 people.
No, as far as I know, it is the basic pro license we have, which is 100 people. Then the next one up is 500, and the one up then more up is, oh, that's bad English, is 1,000.
Okay.
As far as I
Alright.
know, but I can check for you.
Thank you.
Right, can we step off that item? Then the budget, as we reported last time, for those that were not able to attend last time, the DAC funding has come through. Just, I think today they probably delivered the signed contract from Nazim. We couriered it to him. And so we will give that back to DSAC, and then probably within the next 3 weeks or so, the money will be paid into our account. And now that we know where the launch event is, we will also approach other sponsors to see what. Okay, so Wandile, we probably will take you guys off. I mean, we don't want to overburden you.
Yes, please.
You're scared you have to explain a letter coming, requesting money. So that will also go out soon, that we can see that we can get a bit of extra funding in if there's anything else that we need money for, especially if we might have 3 paid speakers, then we can see that we can afford all of them. Any questions about the budget?
Nope.
No,
question.
thank you.
Right, okay. Back to the poster, and I'm not going to show you anything new. So what happened with the poster is that every time you request a change from Anthony, we change, or we are charged. So there were people that were asked to give us the correct translations, and only Wandile sent me a translation or a correct translation. So thank you very much for that, Wandile. I have communicated with Charlie early this morning. He sent me something, but I think he was busy packing or something, because his email doesn't really make much sense. So we need to sort this out as quickly as possible. So at least I think that is Toza. Maybe Linda, you can just stay afterwards, because you might know these languages better, that we can just have the proper language, and also that we know which languages are on here, first of all, and also the correct wording for telling stories. So that would be the change. And then once he does that, you also need to remove the scope and the book. Sorry. And then the other change that was asked, that will go when all this will happen, when all this is being changed, all the languages, is that speech bubble will point to probably the middle person or one of these people. So that is the poster so far. So the sooner we can sort out the languages, the sooner we can ask Anthony to make the changes, and the sooner we have a poster that we can put out. So currently we have a poster, and it's end of January that we can't do anything with. So while on the poster the other day, I was thinking, what else can we give the people? So I don't know how successful a template of a bookmark is. Those of you working in public libraries, does it work well? Should we ask him to also do a bookmark that people can print their own bookmarks? Remember, we're not printing, we only provide the graphics. Is that something that people, that is being used in, well, academic and public libraries, not just public libraries?
Same with us, there's only a few students that take, if we make it available. So I don't know from us
Okay.
if that would be very successful.
Okay.
Janita?
Shanita, Linda, Wandile, what's happening?
Anna-Marie, from my side, you know, the bookmarks are wonderful, but it's the printing costs that are a huge challenge. You know, municipalities are having endless problems paying service providers for copiers, and forever the ink's running out, and copiers are not getting serviced on time. They've literally done away with office printers now, where you work on what is the word that I want to use? A communal copier. You know,
Okay.
where people from different departments are linked to it. So what we have experienced is the printing challenge, I know, in our libraries. Much as we'd love to have it, it's not something we can print in bulk and kind of circulate to the members. So it's not going to
Exactly.
serve us a purpose as such.
Exactly. And a bookmark is not something that you can put on a plasma screen if you have, for instance,
No,
plasma
no.
notice boards. It's
Yeah, and if you
Um,
want to be durable, you got to print it on cardboard. You know, the soft cardboard is something not normal A4 paper.
yeah,
That's
Mm.
another expense that gets incurred. And obviously at the moment, I promise you, it's not the most happiest municipal environment, if I should say so.
absolutely. Anybody
I think-
else? Mhm,
Yeah, I
Edward?
think it's the same story with us. We've stopped printing bookmarks for now, even for the orientation, because the students don't even look at them; they just throw them away. So we think it's just a wasteful expenditure. So in the
Yeah.
past, yeah, it used to be, but now because of technology and all that, and it's the same thing that we are having. What Shanita said, it's a communal printer what we're using now. So we have to go to your Xeroxes and your Minoltas, which is quite expensive.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Same-
from
same-
our, oh, sorry.
Yeah, same with us in the province. We don't print. We just
Right.
share on them online, also on all our social media platforms, but we don't print. And then what the libraries will do, they will print on their own. If they do have like enough cartridge, then they will just print, but on a A3 or an A4. That's what they do.
Okay. Linda?
But we have printers. But I'm thinking, are we gonna print your? I don't think it's nice to work. Can I go back to being a university librarian? Anyway,
Mhm.
I'm gonna try and
Yeah.
find out, because I think we're gonna need proper permission and find out if we can get permission to do that. Then maybe if they say yes, then we can print the bookmarks and the posters. But I need to ask, because I think we have proper printing material. We have about 4 big machines at the head office.
Right.
But I wanted to ask about the poster. I'm not sure whether we have finalized the poster, because I haven't attended for the past 2 meetings.
Mhm.
Wanted to ask about the ladder.
Right.
Did we agree that we're gonna keep it?
If I remember correctly, we said that it would look sort of empty if we take it away, and there's not really anything else we can put in there. What do you want to replace it with?
No, I don't want to replace it.
Mhm.
I was thinking maybe it's gonna be nicer if there's no ladder, and then keep all the other things. But that's just too petty, and because of me being petty, maybe we must keep it. Because I also understand what the ladder could mean if you visualize the poster. But I'm not sure about it.
Yeah, I
But
don't
it-
feel strongly one way or the other about the ladder. Anybody else have strong feelings about the ladder that it needs to be removed?
Anna Marie, I think I kind of understand where Linda's coming from. If you just look at it, you know, the question you'd ask yourself is, what is the ladder doing there? But maybe when you look at the context of the poster itself, you kind of get the gist of it. But just a ladder in limbo, I think, and given the fact that we've got the moon and the star and all of that, it kind of brings forth the question, what is the ladder doing there? And then just behind that, we've got the lady. So maybe I get what Linda's saying, but on the whole, you know, if it talks to the story of the poster, then it will be logical. Just a thought.
Okay. Okay.
I was trying to visualize if it's not there, is there something missing? But I don't think there will be anything missing. Unless it's moved, moved to the tree, like, because here it's standing on its own, it's like on its own, lingering. So I also like, I have no strong feelings whether it's there or not.
Okay.
I don't
So I
think it's an
think-
issue.
What I'll ask the designer is, because I mean, I'm not a designer. I don't know about design principles and balance and what have not. So I think I will just ask him, you know, will it still be balanced and look good? Maybe it will make a difference when this speech bubble needs to move. I will ask him to his thoughts on the ladder.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Anna Marie.
Okay, any other thoughts on the poster or the bookmarks?
If
what-
we sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
no, go
sorry.
ahead.
If we design bookmarks, are we paying extra?
I think that would be included. Once we have the poster finalized, because they usually do the poster, the bookmarks, the virtual background, to the social media, the Facebook header and those things. That is part of the package.
Oh, okay.
So it
Alright.
won't do any harm if we do bookmarks, and because it sounds like there might be a minority that might actually use it. If you don't
Yes,
use it, I mean, there's no harm. It's there to download for one day if you want to use it.
but I think if we're not paying extra, we can just leave it and, I mean, include it. As you say, some people might really want to do the bookmarks.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. We will do that. Let's go back to the agenda. Right, so let's just add a. Oh, it's already there. Bookmarks. Right. Are there any other things that we want the designer to create for us? So as I said, it will be the poster, the bookmarks, once the poster is finalized, so the bookmarks will ride on the poster. It will be the virtual backgrounds for online meetings, and it will be the social media, the headers, the what do you call it, Linda? You should know. You know, that little
No,
picture
I
at the
just
top.
know I just know the easy word, header, but I know
Yeah.
there's another word.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, so they usually do that for us. Is there anything else that we want? I was thinking the other day, and again, I don't know how well it will go. Again, riding on a thought or something that Make always did. Remember, they had Library Lovers Month, where they had sort of a little design where the patrons can write a love letter to the library. Maybe something like that, you know, with this big speech bubble that is easy to photocopy, that people can write their stories, or they can go and sit with grandma or grandpa and they tell their stories and they write it down or something. Would something like that be useful in a library?
It's a great idea.
Yes,
I
Anna,
think.
that would be
Yes.
nice.
Okay. Anything else that you can think of, or will you go and think and we discuss it next week?
Yes, do we have money for all those?
Yeah, I think we should have enough money in our design and printing budget. Well, printing in air quotes because we're not printing. but I think we should have enough money for that. Okay, so I will add that to the homework list. Collateral items. So, I mean, especially you guys that work with the public, you know, how do we get them involved? I don't know if there is a way that we can do it digitally, that people can write, you know, type digitally on it. I will ask for those that don't want to print.
There must be a way.
Awesome. Can we move on to marketing?
Yes, Anne-Marie.
Great.
Charlie sent me an email last week to look at the revised codes on the things that were approved by the meeting, and the ones that you've sent them to me. I did contact the guy that I worked with last year. I haven't gotten I didn't get the final codes. He's trying to add some of the things that you haven't approved, just as like a top up. The codes for the newspapers came very high this year. So he's trying to negotiate. And he said to me, he will come back to me by Thursday. So I do not have the updated codes.
Okay.
I
Linda,
spoke
just before you
yes.
continue, did you speak with Eugenie about the newspapers?
No,
Eugenie Broodrijk.
I only spoke with Chris, the
Okay,
guy that I
so
work with.
I would advise going straight to Eugenie,
Mhm.
because she will give us special prices.
Oh, okay. Maybe okay, just to compare.
Yeah. So what we usually do with her, she works for IOL. And you know, they have quite a number of newspapers. So I will tell her, okay, Eugenie, this is our budget. We need to have it in national newspapers. We need to have it in regional newspapers. And we want the Digimac or whatever's on the budget. And this is the budget. You go and you work out what you can do with that money. And you will see she will come out cheapest. Because
Oh, okay. Because now this came very high. So now I was thinking, so I returned it back to him. So I'll just go via Eugenie's. Yeah, I'm gonna email her tonight.
Yeah, I think that's best.
Yes, and then I spoke to Tanya about the video. And she said she's gonna wait for the background, because I think you spoke about us creating too many things. So we will wait for the designer to finalize the poster in the background so that they can use that background, and they will start doing the video, and assuming that it's going to be ready by the 15th for the committee to comment on it. We will be using the public members, but I'm still waiting for our director to okay us using Central Library. So I haven't gotten the reply from her. So I'll update next week. And if we don't get the reply from her, we would just need to use maybe a school library for the video.
Yeah. Okay, two things about that. Can we, before the 15th, just have sort of an outline, a rough idea of what she envisaged for the video? What would be the angle she's taking, just that we know that. And
yeah, we did discuss that. Maybe I should email it. I must ask her to email it to you, and then you can share it with the committee. What we were thinking about was to contact several different people, the community, more than the librarians. And then the community can speak about libraries. So we've unpacked who's going to talk about what part of the library that has helped them to be where they are, more or less like a storytelling thing. So I will email you that outline.
Awesome. That would be great. I will then share it with the rest of the committee. All right. The other thing is, I know in the past, it was probably pre-COVID, we also wanted to do a video at City of Cape Town, and it took too long, and you know, all the red tape. So we spoke with Mersha at Drakenstein. I know it is a slight travel for you going to Paul, but there were no hassles. We were able to use their libraries quite easily. So if you really struggle and you need a public library, then, you know, maybe see that you contact Mersha or somebody in Drakenstein and see if they can't provide you with space to record as well.
Oh, okay. They have a new library. I did speak to the person who opened the new library that side, for in
Okay.
case we're getting a hassle, because we're thinking it's not gonna fly. So we did speak to the person. They have a new beautiful library that we were thinking if we feature those people from that side, that would be nice. So we're gonna try and do
Absolutely.
something like that. But I'm just waiting for the reply.
Awesome. Great. Okie dokie. Any questions for Linda on marketing?
No, all good, thank you.
Yes, and by next week I will submit the outline. The challenge this month was I was acting for my boss who's on leave for the whole month, so it's challenging to report to my director. So I will immediately, when he comes back on the 2nd, I'll send you the outline of the things that we will be posting from next week. I'm taking leave, so it's going to be easy for me to start the whole thing for a week. And then I wanted to ask from the committee if you have some suggestions on the things that we can post throughout from February up until March that will speak to our theme. That would be nice. I just need help because I think I have about 5 things now that I know about, but now I can't stretch it up to March.
Okay, so we'll add to the committee's homework. So it is marketing messages that we can put out.
Sorry, Linda. What do you mean? What kind of things? Like people telling stories or what?
No.
Posters or what?
Just the build-up theme. So we're gonna unpack it from the beginning. So the first one would be the background of stories and the link to the libraries. We're gonna talk about the first library that we had in South Africa that now is the National Library. So we'll feature that one. And then we will feature the university libraries on the other day. And then we can feature the public libraries on the other day, and then the special, so all the parts of libraries. And then the other thing that I was thinking about is to talk about the online access, the free online access, and link it to open access. And then everything, it's all about telling a story. So if maybe you have more things that I can include for university libraries on the things that we do, so that whole week that we're focusing on university libraries, then I can feed to it. Because I don't want to talk about, let's say I'm talking about the benefits of joining a public library and what story that they tell. I don't want to put it as a cluster all together. I want to divide it and then give it some time, maybe 3 days, to talk about public libraries and what they do and the story that they tell.
Okay.
Cool. We will send ideas your side. So if we, what do you plan to do 3 days a week? So this
I'm planning to do 3 days a week, But the person who's helping me is saying 3 days is not enough. So I'm gonna see if I can do more, depending on the content, because the reason why I had 3 days a week, Anne-Marie, it was based on the content that I was thinking about. So since the
Yeah.
person is helping me, maybe we'll get more content and then we can do it more than 3 days a week.
Yeah, and Linda, some messages you can repeat, say, for instance, a background about the South African Library Week 2023 theme that can be sort of in the beginning of February and in the beginning of March. So some more general messages you can repeat over the next 6 weeks. I don't think that would do any harm. I think that would be great. So
Yes,
obviously,
I'll embed them to just go automatically. The ones that I think they get more hits. So I'll just go and add them.
okay, yeah,
Thanks.
Right.
Thanks, Anne-Marie.
right. Any other questions about marketing or the marketing plan? So more homework that I'm going to add is the frequently asked questions. So if there is anything frequently asked questions that you get about libraries and South African Library Week, so not only about South African Library Week, but about libraries itself, something that when you speak to the radio that you might get asked. So if you have any questions, if you have been asked things like that, we need a list of that we can have the media talking points, that when people from branches and interest groups, we will circulate it to all the branches and interest groups, that if you are having a media interview and you are asked these questions, that you have an idea what to answer, and that the answer then is in line with LIASA's vision, that we're all not speaking on behalf of LIASA, but we all speak from our own point of view. So any of those questions, we need to build up a library of such questions that we can keep for the future as well, that when we have South African Library Week or any of our other events. So I will add that to the homework that we all need to do for next week. Great. So next is the timeline. And I think we have basically spoken to everything on the timeline. So I'm not going to do this in detail. Okay, so that one is no more because it's not. So launch event, those things we can now do. We're not behind on that. That's the photographer, the videographer. Okay, so we don't, for instance, we don't have the photographer on the budget. So we definitely need to get sponsorship for that. I'm just running through it very quickly. If funds available, print poster, no, we don't have, so that we're not going to do, except if we get great sponsorships. Promotional materials, fine. Okay, so the sponsors, we will do that. Okay, and then there is a few things, the communications plan and the quote for external marketing. So Linda said she's busy with that. I don't see anything that we're really much behind. But as you can also see from the timeline, there's lots of things that need to happen in February, because March and February is a short month. And in March, we will be busy with other things in preparation for the event. We don't want to be busy with detail work, things that we could have done before the time. Questions, comments on the timeline? Sorry, we have circulated this to everybody, have we not? Will I do it again?
Yes, we have.
Yes, please.
So- Sorry, I thought I was sharing it, but I don't see it. Did I share it with you? Did I just talk to something that you can't see?
We talk to
Now we
something
can
we
see.
can't see.
I don't know what's happening today. Sorry about that. I actually know how to work Zoom, but today it doesn't look like that.
Anne-Marie, if it's
Yes.
virtual, why do we need a photographer?
Oh, that's true. We just need somebody to take screenshots. So we don't, yeah, no, true, Donnie. I mean, my head left me for a moment. We don't need a photographer. So what we will replace that line item then with, where is it? We will just then arrange with various people that during the event they take screenshots, that it doesn't come down to just 1 or 2 people. Afterwards, Nora is asking for screenshots for the LIT and nobody has taken screenshots. So I think we will just have a few people, that is the task. They will, during the event, every now and again, they will just do a screenshot and we know we have that done. And obviously the videographer we won't need, but we will change that line item to the recording of the speakers, that we have that as a backup, that we don't have to worry on the day. You don't have to worry on the day. Right, okay, so I'm really stop sharing now. Going back to the agenda, I think that was the last item. There we go. Yes, that was the last item. Are there any other business?
From our side.
Nothing from my side.
Nothing from me.
Nope.
From my side too.
Okie dokie. Then all of that is left is to thank all of you for your time. We will meet next week again. I will either tonight or most probably tomorrow send everybody, I will reshare the timeline. And I will send all the homework, everything that we need to sleep over the next few days, that we have suggestions for next week that we can finalize, that we can tick lots and lots of boxes on our timeline. Thank you for your time and you all must have a lovely afternoon.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Anne-Marie. Bye,
Thank you,
Colleen.
Anne-Marie.
Thank you.
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
bye.
Bye. Live. Thank you for me. Certified shipology.